Hey guys, it's ToProForuGames or Adam. Welcome back to some more Call of Duty Black Ops 3 Zombies, and what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be going over all of the wonder weapons from Call of Duty Black Ops 3 Zombies. So the way this video is going to work, I'm going to be simply going over each wonder weapon from Shadows of Evil, the Giant, Eisendrache, Zetsubou No Shima, Gorod Krovi and Revelations, and I'm going to be rating each weapon out of 10. It's not going to be very complex. I want to have one rating for each wonder weapon so you guys know how effective it is. Should you use it? Should you not use it? I want you guys to know that just by the one rating. And of course, in the comments below, you can let me know what you think about each individual wonder weapon in Black Ops 3 Zombies. And also, guys, if you could leave this video a thumbs up, that would be awesome. But let's start with the APOTHICON Servant on Shadows of Evil. So the APOTHICON Servant on Shadows of Evil is definitely an interesting wonder weapon. And right off the bat, I want to give you guys my rating, and we're going to talk about why I gave it that rating. So I'm going to give it a 7.5 out of 10, okay? So first off, this thing looks epic. Like, it is probably the most interesting looking wonder weapon we've ever seen in Call of Duty Zombies. You literally stick your arm inside this wonder weapon, and it's alive. It has tentacles, it has a bunch of eyes on the side of this weapon. God, this thing's creepy, but at the same time, it's really, really badass, and I absolutely love the way this thing looks. Now, guys, the one thing about this weapon, this is the reason why I have it at a 7.5, is the APOTHICON Servant doesn't have an upgrade, and since it doesn't have an upgrade, the ammo count is very low, and it really isn't too much of a problem because the APOTHICON Servant is a very powerful wonder weapon. You shoot this black hole, all the zombies get sucked to it and they die. It explodes, it causes this big blast radius, and it kills everything. So it's very, very powerful, but since the ammo is so low, once you start creeping up into those higher rounds, you do tend to run out of ammo relatively quickly, and if you get trapped or something, you don't really want to waste a precious shot of the APOTHICON Servant. Now, of course, you have Alchemical Antithesis and a whole bunch of other gobblegums to give you ammo, but still, it does run out of ammo really quickly. There used to be an upgrade. I think the upgrade was kind of overpowered because it gave you way too many shots. But if there was something, or if this weapon had like 15 or 17, 18 shots, that would be the perfect sweet spot for this wonder weapon. It's not too much, it's not too little, but since it doesn't have an upgrade, the ammo count really suffers. But besides the ammo count and not being able to upgrade it yet, hopefully one day, guys, this thing is absolutely devastating. It's an amazing wonder weapon, and there's really not much more to describe this thing than that. If you're doing the Easter egg, of course you want to have this thing. If you're playing solo, of course you want to have this thing. If you're playing co-op, you want to get it, but good luck trying to get it. The APOTHICON Servant is a good wonder weapon. It is an effective wonder weapon, and believe me, there are some wonder weapons that aren't. This is one of the better wonder weapons in Black Ops 3 Zombies for sure. So before we move on to the Giant and talk about the WUNDERWAFFE, I quickly want to go over the ray gun, because the ray gun is on every map in Black Ops 3 Zombies, and yes, it is considered a wonder weapon. It has been since World at War Zombies, and my rating for the ray gun is going to be a 3.5 out of 10. And remember, guys, when I'm saying the ratings for these wonder weapons, this is like a special scale just for wonder weapons. Of course, all of these wonder weapons are going to be better than regular weapons, but for wonder weapons, they're all really good. But for the ray gun specifically here, compared to other wonder weapons in Black Ops 3 Zombies, it really isn't all that good. And when you compare it to the World at War ray gun, the Black Ops 1 ray gun, and the Black Ops 2 ray gun, this thing isn't really that good compared to the other versions. So we all know what the ray gun is all about. It shoots these green energy shots and makes a lot of crawlers. That's what the ray gun has always done. But the version here in Black Ops 3, which we're discussing now, it just isn't all that good compared to regular weapons. Like, there are a lot of regular weapons in Black Ops 3 Zombies that I'd much rather use than the ray gun, and is more powerful than the ray gun, like the haymaker or the brecci. I find that to be a lot more effective than the ray gun, and the ray gun's a wonder weapon. And again, going back to, you know, previous CODs, that wasn't the case. Like, especially in Black Ops 1, the ray gun shined in Black Ops 1 with PhD Flopper, even in Black Ops 2, because there was a bit of PhD Flopper in that game. But even without PhD Flopper, the ray gun was still really effective. But here in Black Ops 3 Zombies, really, it isn't worth it. So let's talk about the wonder weapon that we have on the Giant. Now, the wonder weapon that we have on the Giant is the WUNDERWAFFE. And the WUNDERWAFFE is an okay wonder weapon, and my rating for this wonder weapon is a 5.5. And again, guys, on this wonder weapon scale I have going here, that's kind of like an average kind of weapon. It's really nothing special, but at the same time, it's still pretty decent. It still kind of gets the job done. And the reason why I'm giving it a 5.5, I wanted to go a little bit higher, but when you compare the WUNDERWAFFE we have here in Black Ops 3 to the previous versions from Black Ops 1 and even World at War, I'm sure when you zap yourself it doesn't affect you, but it's not as effective against the zombies as it was in previous CODs, just like the ray gun. I feel that it really depends on what kind of a strategy you have going on the Giant, right? It all depends what you're doing. And one of my personal favorite strategies on the Giant is to camp in front of the Pack-a-Punch machine with the WUNDERWAFFE. And the WUNDERWAFFE absolutely just shines in that one spot. But in other spots on the map, or other strategies like camping on the catwalk, which a lot of people do, I would never in a million years want the WUNDERWAFFE. And honestly, I would never use a WUNDERWAFFE on the Giant unless I'm doing that Pack-a-Punch strategy. So it all depends on what you're doing on the Giant. And when Black Ops 3 first came out, this gun was horrible. Like, I would rate it like a 1 out of 10. It was so bad. It like made crawlers. Like after around 30, I think all it did was make crawlers. Now, of course, they've fixed it. It's a lot better and a lot more effective now, but still, I don't feel that it's any better than the World at War or the Black Ops 1 version of the WUNDERWAFFE. I don't know why, but it doesn't seem as effective. I don't know if it's because of the animation, that the linking of zombies with the lightning is a bit different. I don't know what it is, but it feels weaker. Let me guys know in the comments below what you think about the WUNDERWAFFE, because to me, it doesn't feel as powerful. So it's time to move on to Der Eisendrache, and we're going to start off by talking about the first of the 4 bows, and this is the lightning bow. And the lightning bow, easy, 9.5 out of 10. This thing is such an amazing wonder weapon. This is like the definition of wonder weapon. It's incredibly powerful. Ammo really isn't a problem. And honestly, guys, the reason why I'm giving it a 9.5 out of 10 is because the only thing that I don't like about the lightning bow is that it sucks during the boss fight. Other than that, this bow is amazing. Now, the reason why I think the lightning bow is so good is because it's similar to some of these staffs on Origins, and the staffs on Origins were really powerful, especially like the ice staff. You know, you would summon this ice tornado and everything that walked into this would instantly freeze and die, and the lightning bow is pretty much the same thing. You shoot this charged shot and this tornado of lightning kind of starts moving around and demolishing everything that it touches, and that's why this thing is so good. If you find the right spot, and you can literally camp anywhere with this thing and keep shooting the ground, keep shooting the same spot, and getting to higher rounds is so damn easy with the lightning bow. And that's pretty much what makes it a good wonder weapon. Ammo, again, isn't too much of a problem because you kill so many zombies per shots, plus with the gobble gums and the amount of max ammo that drop, it's really not much of a problem. So if there's one bow you guys want to use on Der Eisendrache for going for a higher round, use this bow. So the next bow that we're going to be talking about is the wolf bow, and for the wolf bow, I give it a 6 out of 10. And this bow, I kind of have mixed feelings about it. It used to be my favorite bow. I just loved using it just because of how different it was. I've never seen anything like this in zombies before. You know, you're shooting this wolf spirit at zombies, and to me that was so cool, and it is still really cool. It's a very visually pleasing bow to look at. It looks just really freaking awesome, really cool. You know, Treyarch did an amazing job with this bow. But with that being said, damage-wise and killing zombies, it just doesn't do as well as some of the other bows on this map. Now, the things that I'm not crazy about with the wolf bow is, first of all, the attack. The attack for this thing is a linear attack. So all the zombies you have, say you have a huge train grouped up, and you want to kill them all with one shot, all the zombies have to be in this perfect straight line in order for you to kill all of them, because if they're not, it won't kill them all because the attack is so linear, it will just knock the zombies over, which is kind of annoying. Another thing is, it's really not that crazy against the Panzer. You know, every bow is effective against the Panzer in the early rounds, but once you start getting up there, it really isn't good against the Panzer. And the boss fight, oh my god, this thing is absolutely horrible in the boss fight. If you're doing a 4-player Easter egg, I feel bad for the person who has to have the wolf on there, because honestly, it's useless. It doesn't kill the Panzers. Believe me, I have tried. It literally won't even damage the Panzers in the boss fight area. Sure, it kills the zombies. Sure, it will damage the Keeper, but other than that, it really isn't all that good. But, you know, not including the Easter egg and all that stuff, it is still a pretty decent bow. I don't think it's the worst bow under Eisendrache, but it definitely isn't the best. So the next bow that we're going to be talking about is the fire bow. And the fire bow is unfortunately my least favorite bow to use under Eisendrache, and I give it a 5.5 out of 10. But let's start with the positives about the fire bow. This is probably my favorite bow to upgrade. You know, even though I never do use it and I never do upgrade it, I absolutely love the upgrade quest for this thing. It is so much fun. Like, I don't know about you guys, but I love sniping those circles while in midair. It is literally the funnest thing in the world, and I love doing that. I think the upgrade quest for this thing is absolutely perfect, and it's so much fun. But when you get the fire bow, it really isn't all that good. Now, I'm not saying that the fire bow is bad. I just don't think it's good compared to other wonder weapons. And you'll hear me say that a lot throughout this video for specific wonder weapons. It's just not good, you know, compared to other wonder weapons or some of the other bows on this map. It just doesn't really stack up against those guys. And the thing about the fire bow is, to me, it feels really slow. It just doesn't feel like I'm killing zombies all that fast. Like with the lightning bow and even the wolf bow, you can kind of spam that so you're killing zombies relatively quickly. But with the fire bow, it just doesn't feel like I'm doing much. Now, I think this is more of a personal thing than anything, because I know there's a lot of people who actually really enjoy using the fire bow, but I'm just not that person. I do not like using this thing at all, mainly because it's the fire bow. It's like, it's not very unique. You know, we have seen the fire staff before, just, you know, fire wonder weapons. It really isn't all that special. Something that really isn't unique, and it doesn't stand out to be. Maybe if it did more damage and it was more effective, yeah, I would use it more, but the way it is right now, guys, I just don't like it. So the last bow that we're going to be going over here on Eisendrache is the Void Bow, and this is actually my favorite bow. That might be a bit surprising to you guys, but I'll let you know why I like it so much, and my rating for this guy is a 7 out of 10. Now, of course, it's not the most amazing thing in the world, but if you use it properly and you use it in the right situations, this thing is absolutely amazing, and it's a pretty fun weapon to use on top of that. So the thing about the Void Bow is, this thing in solo is absolutely horrible. I would never recommend using the Void Bow in solo unless you're only doing the Easter egg, but after that I would recommend discarding of the Void Bow because it really isn't all that good. But where this thing shines, first of all, is when you're doing the Easter egg. Oh my god, is this thing amazing, especially in the boss fight. This is hands down the best bow for the boss fight, and the reason why it's so good is whenever you shoot the Void Bow, all of these skulls kind of roam around, and since the boss fight area is pretty small, as soon as the zombies or the skeletons spawn in, the skulls will instantly start attacking them, and really nothing attacks you in the boss fight unless it's the Panzers. And speaking of the Panzers, this is the most effective bow in the boss fight for the Panzers. So Easter egg wise, this is easily the best bow. So like I said before, this isn't something you should use in solo, but when it comes to co-op, guys, it's a completely different story. I absolutely love using the skull bow in co-op. I can't say it's the best bow for co-op just because the lightning bow is so amazing, but if you want to use something else, and I know a lot of people always do lightning bow, definitely try out the Void Bow. You won't be disappointed. But in co-op, since you don't have all the zombies, it makes it a little bit easier to use the Void Bow. I feel in solo, it just takes too long to kill the zombies and get through the rounds when you have all the zombies coming at you. But with co-op, it's really not that much of a problem because, you know, one person has his wave of zombies, or he's turning in one area, you're in one area, so it makes it a little bit easier. And if someone downs, reviving somebody with this bow is super easy as well. You shoot a couple of shots, the skulls will stun the zombies as they're killing them, so you have a couple of seconds to revive whoever you need to revive before the zombie starts spawning in. So overall, guys, the Void Bow is an amazing bow in co-op to use, and the upgrade for this can be a little bit tedious, which I completely understand, but I definitely think it's worth it at the end of the day. Alright, so let's move on to Zetsubou No Shima, and this map has the KT4, and I give the KT4 a 6 out of a 10, and I'm really not crazy about this one weapon. I don't like it now, and I never liked it before. And the thing about the KT4 that I don't like, first of all, I think the non-pack-a-punched version, or not non-pack-a-punch, the non-upgraded version of this weapon really isn't all that good. I don't like it at all. Like, it's okay, but I feel like to really experience this weapon and really to see what this weapon's all about, you need to upgrade it. There's a lot of other wonder weapons that the non-upgraded version is pretty decent. This is not one of them. You have to upgrade this thing. So the non-upgraded version really isn't all that good. Now the upgraded version is definitely a little bit better. The thing with this though is ammo. You really don't have a lot of ammo, and I think the reason why this thing isn't all that good is because of the skull on this map. The skull is really powerful, and when you kind of pair up the two, you know, you can cause a lot of damage. But this weapon alone, the KT4 alone, I really don't like that much. So let's move on to Gorod Krovi, and honestly guys, I really don't have anything bad to say about the wonder weapon on this map, and that's the Ray Gun Mark III. And I give the Ray Gun Mark III a 7.5 out of 10. Now with the Ray Gun Mark III, the non-pack-a-punched version, or the non-upgraded version of this thing, is really damn good, and that's why I like this thing so much, is because both the non-upgraded and the upgraded versions of this weapon are really effective. So for this gun, you have two weapons in your hands. Your weapon in your right hand kind of shoots your standard ray gun laser shot, and then the weapon in your left hand kind of shoots like these black holes or whatever's going on. Now the black hole will slow down the zombies, the right one will shoot a laser and kill the zombies. When you combine them, so when you shoot your left shot and then you shoot your right shot into the black hole, it will create this purple black hole and kill a whole bunch of zombies, making it even that much more effective. And when you pack-a-punch it, it pretty much does the same thing, except you have more ammo and it does more damage. So overall, guys, the Ray Gun Mark III is absolutely amazing, and there really isn't too many bad things about this weapon. So the one thing that I don't like about this weapon right here is at around, I think it's round 60, I'm not 100% sure on this, it's either 50 or 60, but I'm pretty sure it's 60, that this thing stops killing zombies. And that's kind of weird for a wonder weapon. Every wonder weapon should kill zombies at least for like 100 rounds or something like that. You know, every other wonder weapon like does damage and kills zombies, you know, instantly until like, you know, above round 100, except for this thing, round 60, really? And that kind of makes you think, why is this the wonder weapon on Gorod Krovi? Why is this the only wonder weapon on this map? You know, it only kills zombies till round 60, and in Black Ops 3 Zombies, round 60 isn't really all that much, so that's really the only one complaint I have about the regular Mark III. Other than that one thing, I think this thing is pretty awesome. So it's time to move on to the final map, which is Revelations. And the first wonder weapon that we're going to be going over is the APOTHICON Servant, which was on Shadows of Evil and also is on Revelations. But the APOTHICON Servant on Revelations, I think, is a lot better. And I'm going to be giving it a 9 out of a 10. And the reason why I'm giving this weapon a 9 out of a 10 over a 7.5 on the one on Shadows is this one is actually upgradable. Now, it's not the same upgrade that was on Shadows of Evil. The Shadows version had like 25 shots upgraded. This has a total of 15, but still, it is the upgraded APOTHICON Servant. The shot is the same as it lasts longer, and the explosion afterwards is a lot bigger. Overall, the APOTHICON Servant on Revelations is absolutely amazing. Also, something with the APOTHICON Servant on Revelations is you get it out of the box. You know, in Shadows of Evil, you have to craft it. With this, you know, you can get it really early in the game, and it's really not hard to get this gun out of the box. I don't think I've ever actually struggled trying to get the APOTHICON Servant out of the box. I always tend to get it really early on. And the APOTHICON Servant, sure, the upgrade, you do have to do a little bit. You have to shoot those 4 stones in the sky. But when you figure out where those things are, it's really easy to get this thing upgraded early in the game. And then you're set. This is a great wonder weapon. You can use it for the entire game. If you find the right spot on the map, you really don't even have to move. It is that crazy overpowered. And then, of course, you can have another wonder weapon as your secondary weapon, which is the Thunder Gun, which we're going to talk about next. So sticking with Revelations, we have the Thunder Gun in the box, and guys, this weapon is amazing. It's the Thunder Gun. There really isn't much to say about it. I'm giving this weapon a 8.5 out of a 10, and let me explain why. So you have the APOTHICON Servant in the box, you have the Thunder Gun in the box. You can have both weapons at the same time, and the Thunder Gun is the exact same thing as it was in Black Ops 1 Zombies. Honestly, there are very minor changes, and most of them are just appearance, right? The reload animation is a little bit different. The weapon looks a little bit different, and I feel like the range is slightly decreased from Black Ops 1 Zombies. You know, the zombies have to be literally right in front of you in order to kill them. I found in Black Ops 1 Zombies, they didn't have to be right in front of you, but overall, it's the Thunder Gun. There's not much to say about it. It's an amazing wonder weapon, definitely one of the better wonder weapons in Call of Duty Zombies. Against the bosses, for the Margwa, the Thunder Gun is probably one of the best weapons you can have to take out the Margwa, because whenever his mouths are open, one shot will take off one head. It's super easy to take out the Margwa with the Thunder Gun. As for the Panzer, it's probably one of the worst weapons to use because it really doesn't do much damage against the Panzer. It doesn't stun him, it doesn't slow him down. It really feels like it does nothing to the Panzer, and same thing goes for the APOTHICON Servant. And the reason why I'm giving this an 8.5 and not a 9 like the APOTHICON Servant is just because the amount of zombies you can kill per shot. That's kind of the difference right there. This is kind of like a high 8.5, but you know, you can have both weapons at the same time, which is absolutely insane. So, and it's in the box. So the Thunder Gun, guys, it's epic. That's all I have to say. It's damn epic.